Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, Crystal, and how are you?
I'm great, thank you. An hour earlier, I feel better.
I actually feel better too. I really
hmm
like this new time. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good to me too. And my dog, I forgot that it was earlier. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I've got our conversation. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry about that. So my dog, I was doing my exercise and I'm like into my routine and everything. And he comes over to me and I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, why are you coming over to me early? And I really think that he was spirit was warning me and reminding me that we've got this earlier time. And because I had 15 minutes left in my exercise and the class started in 10 minutes. So I think somebody was being very hopeful. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's been like a process over the past several months shifting my sleep schedule, and I guess having another thing that's earlier in the morning is sort of part of that. I had been getting up at around 7 every day. And then for this, it's a little bit earlier because I also am exercising before I do anything else,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
doing it in the middle of the day just seems to be more disruptive, and you seem to
yeah.
get into other things and then not want to stop. So,
Exactly, exactly. Look, Ashley, I totally appreciate your flexibility. Um, and this is the thing that we all have to deal with. We are heart-centered entrepreneurs. We're working for ourselves. And if we had a 9 to 5 job that said you must start here, and we would have no choice, we make that job serve us, tell us, dictate to us what our schedule is. But then when you have the freedom, you have to pick and choose what really is beneficial. It has to be great enough quality to warrant taking away from your morning exercise time, or to warrant you getting up super early in the morning. Like, man, it's a lot to take on. So hopefully we're going to make it worth your while. Rose on the East
right.
Coast has a little bit more flexibility in Boston, right, Rose?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So she can get up and get some stuff done before, or unless, of course, she's a night owl. This is the other issue. I noticed that a lot of my East Coast people tend to be really late night birds. Like, Crystal, I don't get to bed. I don't even get started with my day until 11 o'clock p.m. I'm like, oh my God, y'all are crazy. Like Christina and Martine, they all really like the late night, but I'm much more of a morning bird. So,
Yeah. I mean, for a long time for me, like my sleep schedule was basically 4 a.m. to noon. So,
Ashley, you're exactly epitomizing what I'm talking about here. Okay. So very good. Uh, thank you for being the illustration. Rose, what time do you get to bed at night?
Um, Usually around 1 or 2. However, I've been trying to wake up earlier. So before I would sleep until 10, 11, whereas now I'm getting up around 8.
Okay,
So
okay.
slowly shifting back.
Exactly. I think it's for me, there was a time in my life. I've always been naturally a morning person, but there was definitely a time in my life when I was late night. Like, I remember 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, I'm getting ready to wash down all the cabinets in the kitchen, and it would feel so good. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's a very sexy time of day. If you ask me, it's very sexy time of day, you know. Um, Even this morning, last night I went to bed at around 9:30, and then I woke up at 1 o'clock because I'm going through something interpersonally, so spirit woke me up, and so I could deal with it. And when I woke up, it felt really good, and so I did some Italian, and then I went toward what spirit wanted me to do. But it just felt great, it just felt great. I love those morning hours. We've got Alex and Sangeeta who have joined us. Good morning, beautifuls. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So look, ladies, this is what we're going to do today. First of all, I want to know from you all if you are feeling any kind of inner challenge to your work. I'd like for you to give me one word to help me understand what that inner challenge is to your work. The thing Spirit had me wake up to deal with over the last 2 nights, by the way, it's been 2 nights. It's been failure, feeling like a failure. Now, keeping in mind that this is not the opportunity for us to invalidate one another's feelings. Like if Rose says, I feel like a failure, I'm not going to say, oh, Rose, but you're not a failure, right? That's not the opportunity to do it. However, what we do want to do is maintain a positive focus. So the way that can look, it'll look different for you all. Feel free to experiment. But the way it looks for me is to own the feeling of failure, because clearly failure has a relationship with me right now. We're in a relationship and it wants to tell me something. So what I'm going to do is say, I do feel like a failure, and I'm going to validate my feelings of failure by saying, this is how my life is failing. I have not kicked the extra weight. I haven't lost the extra weight. My body is out of shape. I can't lift my legs in the exercises. I didn't make it back to Italy. I'm still here. I didn't listen to my intuition correctly, right? So the thing that we're going to do is identify what that negative feeling is. And then what I'm going to have you all do just for yourselves is write down the evidence that you have of that feeling. And then, let's see, first you're going to identify the feeling. Then you're going to write down the evidence of that feeling. And then what you're going to do is stay positively focused by acknowledging the negative feeling and appreciation of something around you now that exists at the same time. Okay? And you're going to use affirmative words like, I do feel like a failure. And at the same time, I have a beautiful dog that adores me. Or you can even do, like, if you feel it, you can say, yeah, I am failing. I am failing right now, right? So I am failing in this moment. And at the same time, I am here bringing awareness. Does that make sense to everyone? If you have any questions about this, please let me know. Okay, so again, I just want to make sure that I'm giving you all the right directions. Validate, affirm, and appreciate. Okay, so the first step, I want to hear from you all what any negative feeling or challenges that you're having. You'll tell me that, and then I'm going to set our timer. I'm going to have you all write down the evidence of how the feeling is showing up in your life. And then what we're going to do is validate the feeling, validate the evidence, and then we're going to use affirmative language to bring in, to We're going to validate the feeling by using affirmative language and appreciation. Clear, right? Okay, awesome. Very good. Who would like to share their negative feeling with us?
Well,
Ashley.
for me,
Mhm.
it's doubt, I think, because, well, I mean, do you want me to go into the reasons? But that's the one word.
Okay, let's just start with the one word for right now, but I want you to know the reasons, and then we're gonna, unless you'd like to elaborate a little bit, feel free to. If you feel like you need to share, then do.
Oh, I mean, it's mainly just that I haven't made a lot of profit yet. I'm still in the process of, creating my thing. And
Mhm.
creating my thing requires a lot of different types of tasks to be completed, and and then I also doubt that I'll be able to get it all done, or that I doubt I'll be able to find the support that I need without spending more money than I earn to get that support. So those
Mhm.
kinds of, yeah.
Excellent, very excellent intuitions, and I can 100% relate to everything you've said. It's been 3 years for me now. So yes, very good, Ashley, excellent. Who would like to go next to identify the feeling and share whatever you'd like to about it? Sorry, while I turn off my fan, okay? All right, who's next?
Hey, okay, so my word came to me was disconnected, and I've just been feeling like this for quite some time. So I'll elaborate more once I write stuff, but that
Okay,
word came. Yeah.
very good,
Yeah.
Alex. Both you and Ashley are speaking my language today, so thank you. Thank you for helping me. That was part of the thing I dealt with this morning was, yeah. Okay, validating. Yes, very good. Next.
Okay, I'll go next.
Hi, Sangeeta.
Hi, Crystal. So, the word that's coming forward to me is being stuck in the sense I'm not able to grow to the potential that I can grow. So, I'm feeling stuck in, yeah, that's the word that's coming to me.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Yep. Rose.
Fear.
Very good. Very good. All right. So now what I want you to do is to write down all the evidence you have that this feeling is real. All right, ladies, let's just finish that up. And what I'd like for you all to do is maybe just when you're ready, you all just start speaking. Share with us what you want. You don't have to share your whole list. Just maybe share one of the things that's important for you right now around that negative feeling.
All right. Should I go?
Yeah, go right ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, I'm wondering now if doubt was the best word or if it's worry, but
Sure.
probably both. But anyway, I just wrote down several sources of both feelings. The ones that I just mentioned, which are, worry about being able to actually make enough money from my work, since I haven't done so yet, so I don't have the evidence that I can be self-sustaining like that yet. Worried that in order to make enough money off of commissions, for example, I'd have to be working day and night on so many commissions and that it would be, unsustainable. Or worried that,
Right.
yeah, or worried that if I take commissions at all, I'm worried that I won't be able to get them all done. And then people will be disappointed, spoiling my reputation and my ability to attract customers in the future. So I'm like afraid to take on enough commissions to sustain myself because I might not be able to, live up to those commitments.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Worried about not being able to get everything done that I need to for this game, or worried that it will take too long to get it done. And then, people will wonder why I'm not making money yet and why I haven't gone back to get a different job if I haven't, gotten this done in time or by the end of the year like I originally planned to.
Yeah. Very
Um,
good.
and finally worried that if I try to get help from other people to help get this done, I'll have to pay for that help and I might not have any profits left in the end or not enough to support myself if I pay for that.
Very good, Ashley. Thank you. Very
Yeah.
good. I want to validate those worries for you,
Yeah.
validating them. They're very reasonable worries and very good. Excellent. All I'm doing for you all right now is validating you, which actually empowers your spirit overall, letting you relax a little bit, knowing that you're not alone, all of these kinds of things. These are reasonable fears, making them valid so that we can be unconditionally loving for them. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Who would like to share now?
I can go next.
Mhm.
So I, like, as you know, I'm trying to do like a blog.
Mhm.
And I used to like really enjoy writing, and it would just come so easily to me, and kind of always knew what I wanted to talk about.
Alex, you've muted yourself.
Sorry, thank you.
There you go. You're back.
I just feel like I stare at the computer and I'm just like, whatever. And like some things come out and then the rest of it is just really sad. And I'm just like, okay, this is it. So I feel like I'm disconnected between who I am now and who I used to be. And there's like a huge block, like, and I don't think I like love everything that happened to me in the past. So it's like hard for me to accept that old person or something, but it's definitely making it hard for me to feel excited about the work that I'm doing because a lot of it is writing. And and just other things like, really like feeling like there's so much abundance out there, but and wanting to grab it so much, but then it's just like I don't do anything about it. So there's just like certain things like around that as well. So
Excellent. Excellent, Alex. This is really valid fears. I mean, I can certainly relate to what you're saying. I have gone through the same thing. As you said, when you identified disconnection, it's really important. How can you move forward when you feel disconnected? You know, and it's great when you have those moments of connection. It feels so good, right?
Yeah.
So when you have disconnection, you recognize it, and it can be very paralyzing. It's frightening. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
very good identification, darling.
Thank you.
All right, who would like to go next?
I think we are following the first order, so I'll go next then.
All right, Sangeeta.
So I've been feeling stuck at my workplace because there's tremendous pressure at work, and no matter what I do to make it okay, it's like there's something else that's being identified, and I mean it's nitty picking, and it's just too much pressure on everybody. I mean sometimes it looks like as if there is a force, that there is a purpose in doing what is being done. So that's one that I'm feeling, and so I'm feeling stuck that I can't break that and move out of it. And because of this I get so drained and tired when I'm back home, that when I'm focusing on my work of my own, like to set up my business and things like that, when I sit to write, I feel so stuck in my head that I can't really. I'm working, but I know that that's not my potential of work, so I feel I'm doing very nominal work where I could do much better work. So I'm feeling stuck at that. And then the third place that I'm feeling stuck is because I can't travel back home. Uh, and again, I can't meet my in-laws and my mom, and my mom's alone, so she's 72 plus, and she stays alone there, so she can't step out of the house, so people are helping her to stay in. So it's kind of, and neither can I call her here at this moment of time. So I'm feeling again stuck because I can't really do anything for her, but
Mhm.
we just have to support her at this moment. So yeah, these are the places where I'm kind of feeling stuck.
Yes. Those are, again, Sangeeta, I can relate to you. And I've also been watching you, these weeks dealing with, the issues at work. And, you have a conscious awareness of the problems, and you are working to correct the problems. You are not just sitting back kind of like, okay, well, it's her fault or their problem. You're not pointing the finger at anybody. You've been taking full responsibility, like, what is my role here? What am I needing to do to make these corrections? You've been doing it on a spiritual level. So look, I'm just validating you, you know, letting you know I see you, right? And also, it's really challenging, especially with the parents. My grandmother's down in Southern California, and she's confined to a house. Like, you can't even go and visit and, like, sit in there with her. That is, I know, got to be very challenging. So thank you very much for sharing um, your what's going on, what you're going through. Very good. Rose.
Um, so in terms of fear, there's a lot of fear going on. I think definitely a fear of failure, so going for opportunities and not getting them, and a fear of rejection from things, fear of rejection from my community. Um, so people not liking me, people not liking my work. Yeah, a lot of interpersonal fear, financial fear as well as another one.
Yeah.
So, yep, those are my main ones.
Those are very good, Rose, and again, um, validating your experience. Sorry, Myra's joining us here. Validating your experience, and the thing that as I was listening to you, the thing that keeps popping up for me is a feeling of belonging or not belonging, the fear of not belonging, the fear of being kicked out, the fear of if I'm not good enough at this, what do I have? You know, fear of abandonment, all these kind of deep emotional underlying um, silent killers, you know. Very good. I don't want to say I'm sorry that you're going through it, because it's life, it's natural. This is what we're here for. This is why we're here. But I know it's hard. I know it's scary. That's what I want to say. Myra, you're just now joining us. I'm going to just tell you what you're doing and what we're doing, and then you can kind of catch up and just follow along. But what we're doing is we're looking at the inner challenges that we're having currently in our work. And we've identified that, like, kind of the primary negative feeling that we have. Then we've written down the evidence, like how that feeling is manifesting in our lives. Okay. And now the next step, this is for everyone. What you're going to do is write down. Um, so you're going to validate the feeling, and you're going to use affirmative action and appreciation. I'm sorry, affirmative language and appreciation. So we're not going to deny that we feel fearful or stuck or disconnected or doubtful, you know, or worried. We're not going to deny those things. What we're going to do is allow those things, and we are going to write some statements validating those feelings and appreciating what we have. So again, an example is, I feel like a failure, and at the same time, I got up this morning and did my exercise. Whoop! Okay. So both of those things, write as many statements as you feel. I'm going to set that timer for 5 minutes. Myra, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and just ask, okay? All right, ladies. So, who would like to share first?
I can go, no
Sangeeta.
worries.
Great, great.
So I've written 4 or 5 sentences, but so I feel stuck at work. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that I've been able to consistently exercise and release my weight. So that's really been a great achievement for me at this moment of time.
Mhm.
Then I feel stuck in my progress at my business, but I'm happy that that every small thing that I complete, I get excited about it and feel that I've accomplished something good.
Yeah, sure.
uh, Although I feel stuck and that I'm unable to travel back to India, but I think technology has really helped me connect with my parents emotionally, even though I can't meet them physically. So I've started calling them every day, which I used to not do that in the past. So that's really become much more better, and our connection has become stronger.
Excellent. Wow.
And then I feel
Mhm.
stuck that I'm not able to find time for my walks, but at the same time I'm happy that I spend more time with my husband and my daughter, and that
Mhm.
gives me a lot of trust between the three of us, so that's enhanced our relationship a lot.
Excellent. Wow. Wonderful. For whatever reason, when I'm listening to this, I feel like I'm stuck and just seems to work. For whatever reason, all your appreciation feels like really important, like those are really important things. They weren't superficial. Yeah.
It's strange, when I was writing it, I think the feeling of stuck was getting diminished every time I was writing the
Hmm.
good part of it. So yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very good, Sangeeta. Who would like to share next, please?
I can go
Alex.
next. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So I wrote down, I feel disconnected, but I still wrote down some ideas last night,
Hmm.
and I had some that I was really proud of and happy about. Um, I feel disconnected, but I have been trying to run and meditate more, which is really great because I used to go running a lot like 3 years ago, and then I kind of just stopped. So it's been really nice to run again.
Hmm.
Um, and then I feel disconnected, but I'm really grateful for, to have my siblings who help remind me of like everything about me rather than just who I've become. Um, and then I feel disconnected, but I still like have random ideas that come to me out of nowhere, and I like write them down on my phone, and I'm like, okay, these are like good. So we'll
Hmm.
see what we're we're gonna do with them. But so in some ways I am connected. So yeah, it makes me feel happy. And similar to Sangeeta, like the more that I wrote what I'm appreciative of, the less disconnected I felt. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Very good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Boom. Let's go. Ashley, you come next.
All right. So I'm worried about being able to make enough to support myself, but I also right now have an abundance of clean water and healthy food where I am.
Excellent.
I'm worried about all about being able to make enough from commissions without running myself into the ground. But I have a nice graphics tablet that makes me feel like I can quickly realize the visions that I have in my head for visual art,
Hmm.
by being able to draw on the screen. I'm worried about not being able to get everything done in a timely manner before people start judging me for spending time on this. But I have a safe, clean, and comfortable place to live. right now.
Mhm.
Or not just before they judge me, but also before, I worry about, you know, but I'm worried about being able to get support from people or being able to afford it. But I do have um, some very good friends who really do want to spend time with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent, Ashley. Um, yeah. How does it make you feel as you are affirming what's working?
Well, I mean, there is, some level of peace with acknowledging that, I already have abundance in other forms. There is still a part of me, though, that tends to question those things. For
Mhm.
example,
Sure.
it's like, I say, well, I have abundance right now in the form of, I have a safe and a clean place to live and I have, good food and water and everything like that. But it's like, okay, but for how long? You know,
Mhm.
because if you run out of money, then like, and I actually have enough in my savings that I'm not in immediate danger of running out, but it's still there saying this is finite.
Mhm.
Therefore, it will happen at some point if you don't do something. So
Yeah.
there's still that like sort of responding to these words inside of me. And
Mhm.
likewise with um, the comment about, I have friends who really want to spend time with me. There's still, that belief that's not fully gone, which thinks that, those friends will easily depart from my life if I don't hold up my end of whatever they want from me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. Look, Ashley, I'm validating what you've said still, and you're kind of proving another point that I want to make, which is sometimes we're in a space where this kind of exercise can help us feel better. It can help lift us out of one state and open us up to another state, right? And sometimes we need something different. So I'm going to see how you feel after we do the next step of what I want us to do today. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Excellent. All right. Rose,
I have 11 things, so I might not go through all of them, but I'll pick
that's okay. Choose your favorites, darling.
Okay. I feel afraid, and I also have an incredible life partner who I love and who loves me more than anything. I feel afraid, and I was able to get up 6 minutes after my alarm this morning instead of sleeping in. I feel afraid, and I also did really good work yesterday on a new piece. And I feel afraid, but I feel afraid, and I have wonderful family and great friends.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Very good. I feel a little resistance where you may not have moved up the emotional scale. Am I correct?
I feel like I've moved down the emotional scale, to be honest, because I started off this morning in a really, really, really good place. And as
Hmm.
soon as I did the exercise, I'm still pretty low.
Good. Excellent. I
Yeah.
mean, not good. I don't mean, I'm not mocking, okay? But I mean, the next step is gonna, I hope, will benefit you. Um, it, it should. All right. And it should benefit everyone here, but it should benefit you in particular if you have not moved up the scale. Okay? Excellent, Rose. Thank you for your raw honesty. All right. And last but not least, Myra.
Hello.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning. Sorry, I have no camera on my office computer yet, so
Okay, no
you'll have to
problem.
be staring at my name. But
All right.
okay, so I I wrote this based on the fact that for the last couple of months I've been concentrating on my income bringing in activity as stock trading.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and okay, well, I'll just begin. One of my fears is that this is really risky. Um, and my validation is that it's of all the risks that I can take right now, this is a risk worth taking, and it has been paying off. Another fear that I have is that I'm too new at this. Um, and my validation is that in the last 5 months, I have learned a tremendous amount and I've been able to apply my knowledge and actually see it working. And I'm up every morning with the market, which at my time it's at 6 a.m. and I'm actually doing something about it and moving along. Um, and a doubt and fear that I ask myself is I'm in a group of stock traders and I'm the youngest and the newest, so that's really intimidating for me. And so I ask myself, am I really a stock trader? And my validation is that my portfolio shows and says that I am. And my actions and the work that I've been doing validate that I am. And then how does stock trading fit into being a heart-centered entrepreneur? Um, and I would say that I work with heart and I share and I uplift others, other investors. And that's something that I've realized that there's none of that going on. Everybody's really competitive like sharks and they want to keep all their information to themselves. And here I am like this new little fish in the meadow that loves to share, you know, everything new that I'm learning. And I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that these other investors who claim that they've been here for such a long time and they're older than me, that they are liking it. It's something new that they're learning and they're opening up to it. And I'm starting to see that, at least I feel that that character of mine is having them open up to me in a really warm manner that I don't see amongst everybody else. So that kind of makes me feel
Very good.
good and
Ooh,
different.
I
And
love
then
that.
lastly, that it's given me the time and flexibility to be able to homeschool my kids and spend a lot of quality time with my family, working from home, and still being able to do my other job with my husband. And it's allowing us a lot of time and um, I think motivation to really do big plans for our future and just try to properly plan things to implement them.
It's awesome.
And that's pretty much it.
Very good, Myra. Excellent. How do you feel? Did you move up the emotional scale or do you feel like you've moved down the scale or are you neutral?
I say I moved up
Mm-hmm.
as I wrote these down. I need to do this often because throughout the whole way I have felt really insecure and I sit here at night and I kind of go through this motion of what am I doing here and I uplift myself. I go to bed and I wake up like kind of shaking and deflated. So it was
Okay.
a nice change um,
In the morning.
to do this in the morning and most importantly to share it because I don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about this with anybody.
Sure, exactly. Sure. You certainly can't really talk about it in that group. It's interesting. Very good. Thank you, Myra. Thank you. Okay, so here's who's familiar with tapping? Rose, Alex. That's it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Ashley.
I've seen, yeah, a couple of videos at least.
Okay, very good. And Myra, are you familiar with it? I can't remember.
No, not
Okay,
really.
very good. So here's what we're going to do is tap. Okay. And here's the theory behind tapping in a nutshell. When you have trauma throughout your life, your body remembers that trauma unless you free up that trauma, right? Unless you have a positive resolution on all levels to that trauma. So basically, our bodies are storing old trauma. And there are many different ways to deal with the trauma in the body. Exercising, sweating helps to release, get energy flowing, okay? Massage helps to get energy flowing. Sex helps to get energy flowing. Positive thinking helps to get energy flowing. Reading books, spending time with loved ones helps to get energy flowing. What I've noticed, however, is that when you do tapping on these kind of major energetic points in your body, using conscious, getting your mind involved, getting your emotions involved, and getting language involved is one of the ways to shift the energy that's different from every way I've described. Okay? This is an oversimplification that I'm giving you, but this is basically what we're going to do. So, what I want us to do is tap on the side of our hand, okay? And you're going to use your 4 fingers and you're going to tap just gently, just like this, okay, on the side of your hand. This, and while we're tapping on the side of our hand, we're going to basically focus on what isn't working, okay? We're going to focus on the negative stuff. Now, the idea is that we're going to focus on the negative, and then what we're going to do is inject a positive, okay? We're going to focus on the negative, and then every couple of negative statements, we're going to inject a positive statement by saying something like, even though I feel this negative stuff, right? I also notice something positive, okay? So we're going to be like, I'm going to be like, I'm failing. I feel the failure in my pot belly, which is now sitting on my thighs. And I notice that in the morning I eat well, but then come 2 p.m., I'm going to be grabbing candy bars, right? Right? I'm saying all these negative things, and it's important that I feel these negative things emotionally. I've got the negative thoughts, okay? I feel the sadness, I feel the degradation, okay? But then I'm going to say, this negative, after I've said 3 or 4 negative statements, I'm going to say, and even though I know that come 2 o'clock, I'm going to go shovel food in my mouth, I'm choosing healthy food, right? There's no added sugar in there. It's just going to be 3 RX bars, okay? And then you're going to just be checking in and seeing how you're feeling, okay? Now, we're doing this as a group, so I am going to direct you all a little bit more than you would normally. If you were doing this on your own, you'd be all up in the negative feeling, okay? You'd be there for 15 minutes if you want to, but we don't have that kind of time, all right? The thing that I want you all to get from this exercise is really just a way to help shift your consciousness, to help shift your energy. So, after we've done this for a couple of minutes, okay, we've stuck to the negative stuff, I'm going to force you all to start moving up the negatives, up the emotional scale. I'm going to force you all to start looking at the positive stuff, okay? So the way this normally goes, again, is I'm negative, I feel this negative, I'm crying, I'm negative, and I just stay right here on this side, okay? And then I'll interject the positive, and yeah, okay, I feel like there's opportunity. I just don't feel it yet, okay? Then as you start to naturally feel a little bit better because you're releasing emotions, then what you do is you're going to tap on the top of your head, okay? So you're going to tap on the top of your head, just like right there, okay? And then you're going to start saying something a little bit positive. Okay. And the positive doesn't have to be super positive, but it needs to be in an improvement. And you need to start now. Start thinking about more positivity than negativity. Okay. So I might go from, yeah, I did do my exercise this morning. And I did enjoy it. It was actually kind of fun. Right. Then we're going to tap here on this little spot right in here, like in the eyebrow. And you can use either hand to tap, it doesn't matter. We just want you to tap somewhere in here. And I'm gonna use these 2 fingers, okay? You use these fingers, you can use all these fingers if you want to, but the key is to kind of tap right here, all right? So we're gonna go from here to this eyebrow, and then to the side of the eye, and then to the bottom of the eye, gentle, don't hurt yourself, okay? You don't have to tap hard, but under the eye right here. And then we're gonna jump down here, okay? Right in the middle there. And then we're gonna go here, and then here. Use all 4 fingers so you just get, like these 4, boom. And then we're gonna jump to the armpit, okay? And the armpit, you wanna go where your bra strap is. Like, it's not really the armpit, you're gonna go like right there. Okay, somewhere in there, like where your bra strap is. And again, you can use your 4 fingers on the other hand, okay? Any questions about that? Okay, and I'm gonna walk you through the points. I'll tell you where to go. So, as we're doing this tapping on these more positive points, they don't have to be super positive, but we wanna try to start framing our emotions to be more positive, right? So, yeah, I'm feeling like a failure. But you know what? I'm owning it. I'm sitting here feeling like a failure. This is a start. I'm feeling better. You know, I'm trying. I don't see a whole bunch of other people out here, starting a business doing this on their own. Look at me. I'm sitting here doing it, you know? Does that make sense to everyone? Are there any questions about this? Okay. All right. So you all keep yourselves muted. You're going to start tapping right here. And you're going to start thinking about the issues, thinking about what's not working for you, thinking about what's negative. And just taking your time, focusing, and I'm going to be quiet. And I'll give you some cues for when it's time to change things. I like to speak out loud. You all can speak out loud if you want to. I'm muted because I'm speaking out loud my own issues. All right, here we go. Make sure you feel in your emotions as well as your thoughts. Try adding in a positive feeling using your negative emotion and your positive feeling. For example, even though I feel like I'm failing, I still got up this morning and I came to this call. And then you can go back into your negative feelings if you need to. All right, ladies, so I'm going to start moving us up the scale now. All right, even if you're not ready, just come along with me. And we're going to tap just for a few seconds and give a statement. So you all create your statement. We're tapping on the top of the head, creating a statement that's a little bit more positive. Can still have your negative statement in there. I'm feeling like a failure, but I'm here on this call. Okay? Moving to the eyebrow. Carrying on with the positive statement for yourself. Creating positive statements. Go into your eyebrow, to the side of the eye. Going to the bottom of the eye. Creating a new statement every time we move. Bottom of the eye. Going to the lip. Going to the chin. Going to the clavicle. Going under the arm. Bra strap under the arm. Going back to the top of the head. Going to the eyebrow. Going to the side of the eye. Working those statements, acknowledging how you feel, bringing some positivity to it. Bottom of the eye. going to the lip, going to the chin, going to the clavicle, going to the underarm, okay, and then let's just pause here. And I want to just check in and see how you all are doing. That's going to be the end of our tapping session for right now, but I want to see how you all did with that. Let me start right now with Rose. How did you do, Rose?
I did okay. I'm still feeling pretty terrible, but at the same time, it was a good, I felt like I was able to release some of it.
Yeah, my recommendation would be to go back in, start from here, go back into those negative emotions, what you're feeling, stay there as long as you need to, remembering every once in a while to reach out for that positive thing. Even though I'm still feeling like shit, I'm sitting here, I do have that man who loves me. And, even sitting here in the negative, you can still do positive statements like, that man who loves me is quite cute. Where, how on earth did I get that man who loves me? Something must be in my favor. I must have something good going on. That's what you want to do there. Okay. So you don't have to force yourself to stay in the negative feeling. You can certainly, focus on that beautiful stuff. What are you feeling right now?
Release. Part of it is, truth is, I do feel a bit vulnerable about being live on YouTube while doing this type of work because
Okay.
some of it is pretty sensitive. And so
Yeah.
I'm sorry to bring that up while we're on the call and live on YouTube, but it's just, for some of this
Yeah.
type of work, I do feel more exposed than I would like to.
Yes, look, and you all, these techniques are meant for you to take them and use them at home privately, okay? Sunday is our private time, okay? Wednesdays is our public time, and we do more stuff to try to get you all stuff. So don't worry if you don't feel like you can, get all into it. Do it on your own, okay, sweetheart?
Okay.
All right, very good. Excellent. All right. Alex, will you share? How are you doing?
Yeah, I feel really good. I really like that exercise. And as I moved through, I went from like one positive to more positive to even like, I can't wait to meet my clients.
That's it.
So
Very
I really
good.
escalated it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was really
good.
great.
Yeah, that's and it's
Mhm.
funny because what I've noticed with tapping is that the more negative I feel in the
Mhm.
beginning, the bigger the shift, and the
Mhm.
more positive I feel while I'm doing it is
Mhm.
what becomes my new reality. For
Mhm.
me, I use tapping as the last resort because it gives me a breakthrough.
Mhm.
So when I tap, I usually don't go back. Like I feel trauma relieved, right?
Mhm.
Even though I don't necessarily look at the original trauma, when I do a full tapping session, and it's important that I get the negative emotions. If I don't feel those negative emotions and tap through them,
Mhm.
then the breakthrough isn't as significant, right?
Yeah.
Um, so for you, I feel like, you've moved yourself up the scale. It's where you
Mhm.
need to be. If
Mhm.
you need to do it again, then you'll do it again in the future. But right now, you probably are good for a month, 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
enjoy that and just
Mhm.
remember that this is a tool you have
Mhm.
in your back pocket. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it.
Excellent. Very
Mhm.
good. All right. Ashley, how are you doing?
Well, it was interesting, like, there's sort of this, I don't know, creative energy that feels like it's flowing,
Mm,
as this is going on,
yeah.
almost like that kind of combined with like an ASMR experience.
Yeah, sure. Yes,
It's like,
yes.
you know, the tingling, but also sort of like, just this, feeling of, I don't know, this feeling in my legs, like I'm ready to get up and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. That's very positive. When you have the time and particularly when you're triggered, it's hard when you feel good to sit down and go into negative emotions, right? So Alex and Sangeeta were already feeling positively. So for them, it's easier for them to move up the scale because they were already feeling positively. If we had started with the tapping right off the bat, they would have had a different kind of experience, and they would have needed more time in the negative. But we did all this exercise stuff to kind of get them moving up the scale earlier, right? So the key is to, when you are really feeling that stuck, tap. I feel like shit. I feel the emotions in my heart is clenching. I feel like I want to cry. My throat is clogged. I feel like I can't do it. I'm failing, right? This is what you do. And you stay with that negativity as long as you can. Okay? And then remembering always, even though you're in the negative, bringing in that positive. Even though I feel this way, I'm sitting here tapping. Even though I feel this way, I did win, blah, blah, blah. The key is to, um, when you feel the positive, when you inject the positive, you can tap with that a little bit. Yeah, I did get up this morning, and yes, it burned, but I did better than I did yesterday. And yes, my thighs are still like so rubbing together. I rubbed a hole through my jeans, like then you go back down the scale. It's okay. All right. Then when you're ready to kind of move on from the negative, then you go into the rest of the body. Now, here's the other thing. If you are in the negative and you're tired, you don't feel like you can move up the positive, just stop, right? You've been at this for 15 minutes and you're no longer feeling connected to the process. Stop. Come back to it another time. Okay? It's all right to do that as well. All right, Sangeeta, how did it go for you?
I felt like a lot of energy moving into the body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I started the call, I was quite drained and I was feel yawning many a times.
Mm,
But I can now feel that it's a very different energy that's come forward. So,
yeah,
and I
excellent.
could see a lot more positive coming every time I went moving. I
Yeah,
could see more positives, which I probably wouldn't have seen normally.
yes. Excellent. And again, the tapping is, all we're doing is, these points that you're tapping on are tied to the natural energy centers that already exist in your body. And so what we're doing, the guy who created this system, this is coming from traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture. It's about working with these energetic points and just freeing up the energy, getting the energy to flow, you know, and by doing this, you don't have to know what you're doing. All you have to do is know that your energy is working itself. It's working itself out. And you're just facilitating it by noticing what you feel in your body, like your emotions. It's really important you pay attention to your emotions and your thought processes, noticing that you're also shifting your thought processes. And of course, the physical body is involved. Nobody's doing this for you. You're doing this. You're moving at your own pace. You know, you're staying on points. When you're doing this on your own, you might find yourself tapping at a point for a longer period of time as you get lost in these thoughts. It's because you're doing this. You don't point, that we're not telling you 8 times, right? You do it until you feel, you know uh, right, and then you move when you feel like it. And you can feel free to switch arms. Sometimes long tapping sessions make your hands hurt. Okay. So just feel free to switch it up. It's all right. No rules. Okay. All right. Let's hear how Myra is doing. Or Myra, how'd that go for you?
Can I be completely honest?
Yes, of course.
I think I just had way too much caffeine before I got on this video call. And I was really distracted with my thoughts kind of as I started. I was just kind of bouncing all over the place. Um,
That's
and
okay.
as I kept going, you know, part of my I was very close to setting up the webcam right before we started the tapping. And so part of me, I'm tapping and it's like, okay, I can get this webcam to work. And I'm like, wait, this is not what I'm supposed to be tapping about. Just, but however, halfway through it, I feel that once I kind of took all these distractions out, that I felt that the tapping was really moving energy around inside, especially when it went to the head. So that was kind of a neat feeling of, I don't think I got to the way I was supposed to really be tapping, but it was kind of neat to see how, because even if I was distracted, I didn't stop this tapping, but then I just kind of started feeling like, wait a minute, I feel like this movement of energy inside. So I will definitely have to revisit this again.
When the time comes. Only when the time comes, though. So don't worry about it, Myra. You know, like this is one of those instances where it's kind of like, look, I don't need to be tapping right now. I need to be dealing with the camera. Okay. Tapping will call to you. When you feel stuck, that's when you reach for the tapping. And you had moved yourself up the scale already, like, you know, like like Alex and Sangeeta were feeling better before we started tapping. So to me, I think you're in a perfectly good spot. So here's what I want you all to do next, okay? And actually, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the call for today. But what I'd like for you to do is to make a statement about what you want for your business this year. Before the end of this year, I want you to make a really big, badass statement. All right. And I want you to post it in the Heart Centered Entrepreneur group. Okay. Using the hashtag goals become reality. All right. Hashtag goals become reality. Now, for Ashley and for Rose, sorry, the camera, like has anybody else noticed on Zoom, like people switch around, like the positions of people switch around? I think I'm going to go over here to see Rose. And then I'm like, wait, where's Rose dropped off? Wait, no. So for Ashley and Rose, you all might want to wait before you make this statement. You might want to wait until you move up the emotional scale, and you might want to start off. So you could even start off with, I want this thing for myself, but I don't feel like I can get it. All right. I desire to enroll 30 people into my program, but I don't know if I can do it. I'm scared. Okay. That would be a great starting point for a tapping session if you feel some negativity. All right. Now, for everyone else, because you all are already up the emotional scale, I want you to write down a big badass goal. And what I want you to do is to assume, okay, and this is for Ashley and Rose too, after you've gotten your big badass goal, your job is to assume that it's real, that it's coming true, and before the end of this year, and your job is to then take action on that big badass goal. You're going to need to make a plan. You're going to need to put all the steps in, write out all the steps in place that you need in order to make that badass goal real. Then you're going to need to take steps toward making that badass goal real. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions? Okay, and just share your goal with me in the group. Hashtag goals become reality. I feel very strong things for us all for the end of this year. It's an interesting feeling that I've just gotten, but it feels very real to me. So I can't wait to see what your goals are. For me, it is on. I feel like even though I feel like a failure, I feel like I'm getting ready to knock this goal out of the ballpark. I feel like I'm about to like whoop it up right here, right now. Stuff is happening for me. I feel very, very good. Just saying, I feel good. All right, boom. No questions, y'all? Okay. So look, thanks for joining, an hour early on Wednesday. It is so appreciated. Okay. We'll be back here next week doing the same kind of thing, although I'd like to get more specific about your goals. I feel like we've prepared enough. You guys have some really good tools. Next week, we can start looking at some more practical aspects of running our businesses and getting into things. Okay. All right. Bye for now, lovelies. Bye, everybody. Bye.